Good evening and welcome to Sunday edition. We're coming to you live from the Broadcasting Center at our Pocket Hill Studios in Harare. I'm Joyce Mabika. Susan Masona is on sign language. And I am Yvonne Mukondani. Arthur Evans will join us later from our Montrose Studios in Bulawayo. These are our leading stories tonight. Zimbabwe observes National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving. Bulawayo Metropolitan Province undergoes major socio-economic transformation under NDS-1. University of Zimbabwe student invents AI-powered fraud detection system. We will give you that and more in our Science and Tech feature. In our sports buzz this evening, Zimbabwe in buoyant mood ahead of their 2025 Africa Cup of Nations clash against South Africa this Monday. Well, those are our leading stories. We'll now give you the news in detail. From the Presidential Hospital Renovation Scheme to new rural health centers, government says 2025 marked a turning point in rebuilding Zimbabwe's health system. Under the National Development Strategy 2, authorities target to continue modernizing major hospitals, strengthening the health workforce and bringing quality care closer to communities that is in line with Vision 2030.
The year 2025 marked the rollout of the Presidential Hospital Renovation Scheme, a long-term facelift for the country's public health institutions, beginning here at Parenyatua Group of Hospitals, and now gaining momentum at Mpilo Central Hospital as government moves to modernize facilities and restore dignity to healthcare delivery across the country.
The intention is to make sure all central hospitals and provincial hospital for starters have got infrastructure which is fit for purpose, in particular as we move from NDS-1 to NDS-2. Well, this is our last lap for us to achieve Vision 2030.
Beyond major hospitals, government has also facilitated the construction of primary health facilities across the country, particularly in rural and previously underserved communities. But buildings alone are not enough. Alongside bricks, steel and mortar, government says strengthening the country's health workforce remains a top priority.
Our overall goal is to double our health workforce by 2030. In addition to just increasing the production, which means you have more training centers. In particular for nurses, we have added in excess of 5 new training schools across the country. In the spirit of devolution, almost every province now, and as we move in NDS2, we have a new training school.
President Emmerson Mnangagwa is on record that a strong and functional health sector remains central to sustainable national development.
A viable health sector is not only an indicator, but also a precondition and outcome of the social, economic, and environmental dimensions of sustainable development. My administration is currently implementing programs and projects that will guarantee access to the full range of quality and affordable health services when the way people need them, principally for the most vulnerable of our communities.
From modern hospitals and rural clinics to training, retaining and equipping health workers, government says the foundations are being laid for a resilient and inclusive health system, one that delivers quality health care closer to communities as government marches towards Vision 2030. Abigail Tembo, ZBC News, Harare.
Acting President Kenel retired Dr. Kembo Mohadi says faith and governance must unite for a prosperous nation in line with the Second Republic's developmental trajectory. He was speaking at the 9th National Thanksgiving and Dedication Service held in Bulawayo this Sunday.
In a powerful convergence of faith and governance, the 9th edition of the Zimbabwe National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving has further highlighted the symbiotic bond between the church and the nation's development trajectory. Addressing the gathering, the acting president, Kenel retired Dr. Kembo Mohadi, say the day was more than just a ceremonial observance, describing it as a sacred moment of reflection on the country's progress and divine guidance.
Today is not merely a date on our national calendar. It is a sacred pause, a moment for reflection, not only on how far we have come, but on who has sustained us along this way and this far. We are reminded that the story of our nation is not written by human effort alone, but guided by a higher purpose.
The acting president unpacked developmental strides achieved by the Second Republic in the year 2025.
There is no doubt that we are well on course towards the achievement of Vision 2030. Under the astute leadership of His Excellency the President of Zimbabwe, Comrade Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, Zimbabwe has not only become one large bustling construction site, but has also realized commendable growth in mining, agriculture, manufacturing, and industrial sectors. The year 2025 has seen the government and the people of Zimbabwe making significant strides in transportation and energy infrastructure development. The commissioning of the Trabablas interchange is one of the major highlights in the transport sector. In the field of agriculture, the government has implemented programs which boosted food security, utilizing modern technology and climate-smart agriculture approaches, such as Fumbuza or Intwasa model. The year also saw the launch of an AI-powered grain silos across the country, and the minister showed us that in the slide he was pleased to present to us. This is increasing our grain storage capacity. The initiative is biblical and dovetails with the book of Genesis, chapter 41, which emphasizes the need to store grain in times of bumper harvest as food security.
Turning to the role of the church, the acting president, Colonel retired Dr. Kembo Mohadi, described the religious community as a steadfast partner in national development.
As we transition from NDS 1 to NDS 2, our path to Vision 2030 of an upper middle income society is clear. Yet we must continue to seek God's guidance and ask the church to be a steadfast partner in the development that we envisage, and in promoting peace, providing health and education services, and in fighting destructive vices such as drugs and substance abuse.
As the nation transitions to the National Development Strategy 2, the message was clear at the National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving. The nation moves as one. Faith fuels the vision, prayer backs the work, and development is a collective duty. Yolande Moy, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Meanwhile, delegates who attended the 9th National Thanksgiving and Dedication Service in Bulawayo this Sunday have applauded the Second Republic for setting the country on a robust and national development agenda.
This year's National Thanksgiving and Dedication Service was a time to appreciate and take stock of the remarkable restoration journey that the country has traveled under the Second Republic. Church leaders drawn from different denominations unanimously adopted a declaration for robust restoration throughout the nation, which was signed by Acting President Kenny retired Dr. Kembo Mohadi at the Thanksgiving and Dedication service.
This declaration, which is spearheaded by the churches, that Zimbabwe is in a state of robust restoration since the inception of the new dispensation in 2017. It's a statement we need to make. Why? Because Jesus teaches us it's not just verses of the Bible that make us free. He says truth makes us free. Say hallelujah.
Really Honorable Minister of Agriculture ubaba ekhuluma ngokwenzakalayo ikakhulu emaphandleni lapho kulabantu abaningi khona ukuthi yibo abakhulisa umnotho weZimbabwe kakhulu. Ukhulume wathi okungcono ukuthi abathathayo bathathe omama bentwasa laba nabomama bekhumbuzo.
Some countries are in conflict because they don't quite pray to God. And I want to say the convenience of this gathering annually since 2017, you have brought and complemented the initiatives by our leadership, led by our President, His Excellency, Dr. Idi Mnangagwa.
This esteemed gathering stands as a testament to our collective commitment to our great nation as we seek God's divine intervention to guide our path forward. The Church has demonstrated exemplary spiritual leadership by bringing us together to humble ourselves before the Almighty, trusting in His power to uplift us and elevate our nation to the heights and visions in our collective aspiration as an upper middle income society by 2030.
The Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development, Dr. Anxious Masuga, gave an overview of the country's developmental trajectory.
So agriculture contributes 2.2% of the 6.6%, 33% of the country's GDP growth this year will emanate from agriculture, which is why financing agriculture is the noble way to do it, which is why this visionary President Idi Mnangagwa has deliberately skilled resources to finance agriculture in order to front-load development in all the other sectors.
Patron of the Zimbabwe Indigenous Interdenominational Council of Churches, Bishop Dr. Nehemiah Mutendi rallied the nation to pray for the leadership of President Emmerson Mnangagwa.
And at this moment, we also acknowledge the leadership. We acknowledge the President of the Republic, His Excellency, Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa, the weight of his responsibility he carries on behalf of this nation. Leadership is not a light assignment. It is a daily burden of decision that affects millions of people.
Young people also took time to invoke blessings upon Zimbabwe through praying for a blessed coming year.
I stand before you humbly to invoke a blessing upon Zimbabwe. As a junior MP, I pray for unity, peace, and prosperity for our nation. In Psalms 133, it is written, "Behold how good and how pleasant is it for a brethren to dwell together in unity. Let us strive for unity and harmony in our nation."
The 2025 National Thanksgiving and Dedication Service was filled with praise and dance as the nation thanked the Lord for the blessings of this year while praying for the coming year. Lisa Corrina, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Now, for years, daily travel which had to navigate the then Mbudzi roundabout tested the patience of motorists, with long queues translating into long lost productive hours. Today, the Trabablas interchange is changing lives, easing traffic flow and restoring valuable time for road users who depend on the route for work and business.
Chaos, confusion, and near calamity was once the definition of the Mbudzi roundabout bus terminus. During peak periods such as the festive season, this simple act of disembarking was near impossible. Behind the concrete and the towering flyovers of the Trabablas interchange are real and tangible stories of change. For more than a decade, Lawrence Maroa has been plying the Johannesburg-Harare route, and like many motorists, testifies that this project has transformed what was once a daily struggle into a smoother, more predictable journey.
Kubva pa-tollgate apo kuti unobuda paZindoga apo waigona kuita kana 4 hours motikari dzakaloka kudai. Saka chinhu chakasungunura zvinhu zvakawanda. Iko inova kutokakureta kuti ndikabuda mutown nenguva kana 10 minutes ndenge ndasvika panapa paboka panapa.
With the completion of the Trabablas interchange, traffic now flows freely, significantly reducing travel time while improving safety for both motorists and pedestrians.
Iko nochero mabhazi edu akuzara manje. Aiwa akuzara zvokuti nguva diki ukangozwa kuti vanhu ndiri kuuya unenge watosvika utakura vanhu vako utoenda. Kana mari dzatakukesha waiwa kana murungu unomuona achisekerera.
As the Trabablas interchange continues to ease congestion and boost efficiencies, beneficiaries such as Lawrence Maroa stand as evidence of how modern infrastructure can directly improve livelihoods. Wellington Makonese, ZBC News, Trabablas interchange.
Now, the construction and official opening of the Mbari Musika market by President Emmerson Mnangagwa this year has greatly enabled traders to operate in a safe and secure workspace, equipped with modern facilities.
When the Mbari Musika market went up in flames in October last year, thousands were devastated as they lost their stocks, stores, and some even thousands of dollars. The government promptly stepped in, with President Emmerson Mnangagwa declaring a state of disaster. The intervention of the government saw the construction of a modern complex that opened its doors to traders in April this year. Traders say since its official opening, they have managed to sell their wares with ease without even worrying about a fire breaking out.
Panguva ine kunaya kwemvura kunoko ranga riri dambudziko hombe kuti staff kubva patakachirwa staff dzedu dzaingonaiwa tatisina kunge tine mashedzi akanaka, asi takazovakirwawo chinhu chekuti chakanakisa. Hatina dambudziko rekuti kana mvura ikanaya tinonairwa staff dzedu.
Haisi musika unoti kufarira panyaya yeresizini. Kwanga tiri kudhara kune madhaka, but kunoku kuri kufadza because hakuna madhaka, tasaimona kuri smart and staff iri kutengeswa zvakanaka.
Ndiri seni zvangu hanzvimbo ino handina chekukomplaina. Ndava yakavandudzwa kusvika pastandard inotokombita kunyange kune dzimwe nyika muno muZimbabwe hakuna market yakafanana neiyoyi. Saka ndingoda kutenda zvangu nenzvimbo yakadai, nzvimbo yakanaka.
Aiwa zvakanaka. Iko zvino vanhu vakuenda vachijaira. Kana pahori dzapaiwa takatombotengesa. Awo takatengesa zvakanaka. Zvokuti kana kumvura painaya ayo. Atamboita dambudziko makasoma edu aitotengwa zvakanaka.
Although described as a temporary market, the complex has a capacity to house over 3,000 traders, while a permanent structure, which involves building a new high-rise complex with capacity to accommodate 10,000 traders, has since been earmarked for Tsiga grounds as part of government's broader urban renewal initiative that seeks to transform Mbare into a thriving economic hub.
The government has delivered on its promise as it has built something modern and upmarket, and it continues to support the SME sector who have become the pulse of the economy. Memory Chamisa, ZBC News, Harare.
Construction of Vungu Dam has brought excitement to the Musila Hove community in Slovela. Amid indications, the infrastructure project is already driving significant development in the area. Our Midlands Bureau Chief Tafaraj Kumira was in Slovela and filed the following report.
Things are beginning to shape up here at Vungu Dam as a water body has already formed this rainy season following the erection of the dam wall. Although the project is yet to be finalized, animals are already enjoying some fresh water from the water body, with the community's livelihoods set to be transformed for better. The community can't wait for the operationalization of the infrastructure that has already seen some improvements in the area.
Lapha kutshengisa ukuthi dam leli yenze sibili lathi sakhanya esigabeni sethu seMsilahobe ngoba sesibona ukuthi lamagetsi nanka athutsha ngenxa yani edam leli selenzakele.
Engikuthabelayo Mbongela ikakhulu abasakhulayo abangangami sayizami sisathola imisebenzi sesikwana ukuthi siphilise abantu bethu ngenxa yedamu. Inji sesile development besingayakhanga nzima nzima. Sesiyakhile sesilamanzi sesilamagetsi. Siyakuthabela ukuthi abantu bethu baza impilo yabo isazotshintsha.
Indawo iyabe iright ngoba nxa sokulamanzi eduze kuyakwaniseka ukuthi kube lama izingadi lezi ezokulima. So nxa kuyabe sokulinyiwe wonke umuntu uyabe seright. Ngoba ukuthi uzube le mali yekulima.
Kodwa ke sikhangelela ukubona izinto eziningi ezitshintshile esigabeni. Nxa sibona nje lathi utshintsho lwenzakala khona la sikhalela izinto ezingcono kakhulu.
With a length of 2.6 kilometers and a height of 30 meters, Vungu Dam is expected to provide irrigation water for more than 1,200 hectares across 4 irrigation schemes to be established in the area. The water body will also support the development of a mini hydropower station, a water treatment plant to supply crossroads, as well as fisheries projects and tourism activities. The Vungu Dam project is one of the signature projects by the Second Republic that are meant to transform the livelihoods of once marginalized communities. The project is one of the key pillars of the country's economic blueprint, the National Development Strategy Policy document. Tafaraj Kumira, ZBC News, Vungu.
Scenes of joy and gratitude unfolded in Nyabira after multitudes of people in the community benefited from a donation of food hampers by the First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa.
The First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, brought joy to the residents of Nyabira by distributing abundant food hampers to every family in the community.
The beneficiaries, numbering more than 1,000 families, are living in shaky tents in an open settlement with no land for farming or sustainable livelihoods, leaving households exposed to hunger and harsh living conditions. It is against this background that the First Lady, as a caring mother, chipped in to assist the vulnerable families. Mother Zimbabwe has also been personally cooking and providing nutritious meals to many children every week, as some of the children were beginning to show signs of malnutrition.
The distribution saw officials moving among the crowd to ensure that every family received a hamper packed with essential food items.
The sheer abundance of food supplies meant that each family received enough to provide for their families, leaving beneficiaries in awe of Mother Zimbabwe's love.
Dr. Mnangagwa, who was present at the event, emphasized the importance of collective responsibility, stating that the initiative was designed to ensure that every family had sufficient food supplies at home. She added that the well-being of communities remains close to her heart. The beneficiaries included widows, youths and children. They were thankful, describing the exercise as unmatched.
Ndinotenda zvataitirwa namaizvi munzvimbo ino yeNyabira. Saka tinofara zvikuru nekuuya kwawaita nekutibatsira.
Ada kutenda amai nechikafu chavatipa iye vatirangarira nemhuri. Zvinhu zvatati tichitotya kuti zvingaitike here. Saka nezvavatiitira nhasi atafara zvikuru. Tikutenda amai nezvavatiitira.
The First Lady's outreach has brought dignity, relief and renewed hope to families in need. Colette Msanyera, ZBC News, Nyabira.
Government says image building, improving international relations and trade are key in sustainable development of the country under National Development Strategy 2. Speaking on a ZBC Current Affairs program focusing on the National Development Strategy, Foreign Affairs and International Relations Minister Professor Amon Morwira said government will further push for success of NDS2, the African Continental Free Trade Area, as well as various regional and continental blueprints that promote economic growth.
It will, based on that sprucing of the image, a trusted, stable, and mature country. That's what we are going to build through the image. Mature, stable, functional, trustworthy country in the family of nations. That's going to be our image, and we're going to spruce that. Number two, a country that relates with others well, according to the dictates of our Constitution, Section 12, subsection 1. Peaceful coexistence with other countries. Peaceful resolution of disputes. And being pan-African, Section 12, subsection 2. We are going to follow those dictates in pursuit of our national interests within the international environment. Peaceful coexistence with other countries. And this is going to make sure that our trade is going to boost. And we are going to shake the trade landscape by making sure that we streamline our tariffs and even remove tariffs and non-tariff barriers. We've already done it with Zambia, doing it within the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, doing it within the SADC Free Trade Area, doing it within the WTO, making sure that Zimbabwe is a place to be. Zimbabwe is trusted. Zimbabwe can trade fairly, offering fairness and also demanding fairness. We are a country that wants to live in a good global environment without coercion, with mutual respect, and good coexistence with other countries. So we are looking forward to an NDS2 that is an elevated version of NDS1, where we are going to take Zimbabwe to beyond an upper middle income economy. At the moment, we have reached about $3,000 per capita. We expect to be doubling that because we were about $1,000 per capita as we took over His Excellency the Second Republic, but now we're at 3,000, which is another 300% increase. We act in hundreds of percentages in terms of movement. This country is going to continue sprucing up its image, ramp up its good international relations, and boost its trade, and therefore grow its GDP, and be able to live in a world with others where there is no coercion.
The government is walking the talk in providing equal opportunities for people with disabilities. This was evident when teachers with disabilities were among the second batch of 143 Zimbabwean educators who left for Rwanda last week under a bilateral teacher exchange program.
Inclusivity is now the in thing. Everyone is embracing diversity, and there is no need for you to not fulfill your purpose just because you have an impairment.
It was a highly competitive program attracting more than 1,000 applicants for just 143 placements as Zimbabwe deployed education specialists to Rwanda under a government-to-government agreement. Among those selected was former Luveve High School mathematics teacher Nobuhle Ncube, who shared her journey with ZBC News, reflecting on her career, disability inclusion, and the opportunity to work in Rwanda.
I've had my career as someone with a disability, and I haven't had any challenges. I cannot say that they know everything, but what they do is that they are inclusive, and they are able, they have an open ear, an open door policy.
The Minister of Public Service, Labour and Social Welfare, Honourable Edgar Moyo, who accompanied the teachers to Rwanda, highlighted government's commitment to inclusive development and ensuring people with disabilities are not left behind.
On the legislative and policy front, we have a very strong foundation for disability inclusion, both in society and also in employment. And in this group, like you've already indicated, we have 2 persons living with disabilities who are part of this group. And that speaks to our disability policy of inclusivity and also providing employment to people with disabilities. Because as always expressed, the cliche is that disability is not inability.
By mainstreaming persons with disabilities into formal employment and international labor programs, government is reinforcing the principle that disability is not inability and that inclusive workplaces are key to sustainable national development. Tapiwa Machemedze, ZBC News.
We cross over to our Montrose studios in Bulawayo, where Arthur is ready to give us the other part of the bulletin. Arthur, good evening.
Thank you so much, Yvonne. Bulawayo Metropolitan Province is undergoing a major socio-economic transformation, with the National Development Strategy 1 serving as the key catalyst for growth across all sectors. Our reporter Yolanda Moyo sat down with Permanent Secretary for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Mr. Paul Nyoni, to discuss how the province has successfully translated national development targets into tangible local outcomes.
This transformation is driven by government's deliberate policy of leaving no one and no place behind, ensuring that local development outcomes align with ambitious national targets. The multi-sectoral progress was outlined during an interview with Mr. Paul Nyoni, who provided insight into how national policy has translated into real on-the-ground change for Bulawayo's residents. Infrastructure has emerged as the cornerstone of Bulawayo's revival, with the Emergency Road Rehabilitation Program breathing new life into the city's major road network, while also building the capacity of local contractors and strengthening indigenous expertise.
One of the priorities for Bulawayo is the Provincial Economic Development Plan was infrastructure, transport infrastructure, health infrastructure, education infrastructure. Over the last 5 years, the NDS 1 years, we've done quite a number of those.
In the critical area of water and sanitation, Bulawayo has taken steps to secure its future through upgraded reticulation systems and strategic partnerships.
Bulawayo now has a new water reticulation system. Sewage, we have new upgraded facilities at SLP 1 and 2, as well as a very protracted attempt to upgrade some of the sewage reticulation systems in various older suburbs.
On the health front, the NDS1 era has delivered significant improvements in medical infrastructure.
At UBH, you know what has happened, one of the largest medical laboratories is completed there. The Fistula Center, which was a big requirement because of the amount of injuries that would occur during the childbirth. We have also gone a step further and provided alternative power, working with development partners at UBH, at Mpilo also, and at 21 council clinics.
Education infrastructure has also seen notable growth, from expanded student accommodation at the National University of Science and Technology NUST to innovation hubs such as the Phineas Makurane Technovation Center.
In education, Bulawayo has expanded, especially in terms of residential areas. So one of the things that we focused on was the increase in classrooms at existing schools and the building of new infrastructure.
Tourism and the services sector have also rebounded, supported by new boutique hotels, refurbished accommodation, improved air connectivity, and increased conference tourism anchored by the Zimbabwe International Trade Fair Company. Yolanda Moyo, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
The country has recorded major developments in the health sector under NDS1, with Manicaland Provincial Healthcare Services undergoing massive transformations in the last 5 years.
Manicaland province has recorded significant progress across all sectors of the economy as part of the implementation of the National Development Strategy 1, with the industry, infrastructure, education and health sectors part of the success stories Within the health sector, the province saw the number of health facilities increasing from 214 in 2021 to 435 this year, with the installation of solar power and the increasing number of specialist doctors among the huge investments.
For the past 5 years, we have seen great strides in the improvement of delivery of health services. We have had challenges, but we have seen great strides. The solar has improved power backup for the hospital. We can now do dialysis without interruptions. The 4-hour sessions can be done without interruptions. And then also theater cases, they can be done without interruptions. We have seen specialists coming to the hospital to support Manicaland. We have neurosurgeons now at the hospital, orthopedic surgeons, physicians, all catering for the whole of Manicaland based at the hospital.
Construction of the huge nut farm warehouse commissioned by President Emmerson Mnangagwa this year has also come as a game changer in the distribution and availability of drugs in Manicaland and other previously underserved areas.
We as Nut Farm Mutare were blessed to have 3,600 worth of pallets holding capacity of our new warehouse, sitting on 5,620 square meters. This increased our holding capacity in terms of drugs which we hold at Nut Farm Mutare.
Among the health facilities connected to solar energy include Victoria Chitepo Provincial Hospital with 140 kilowatts capacity and Mtambara Hospital with 150 kilowatts capacity, while 33 of the 35 general hospitals have 40 kilowatts, with 86 clinics having 5 kilowatts each. Kenyans Chivuje, ZBC News, Mutare.
The government's women empowerment programs continue to reach far and wide, with a 21-year-old woman from rural Chiwota, Danai Kwedza, who came second at the 2025 SADC Tertiary Institutions Essay Competition, is now upbeat of clinching first position next year.
Hailing from Mauseko High School in rural Chiwota, Danai Kwedza's journey from the dust of a rural background to the regional stage is a powerful illustration of Zimbabwe's women empowerment programs. They are more than just policies on paper. They are the hands that lift, the voices that encourage, and platforms that allow the girl child to awaken to her own immense potential. And in awakening her own potential, Danai has in turn become a catalyst for a generation of girls ready to shine. Having come second at the SADC Tertiary Institutions Essay Competition, which came with a prize of 1,000 United States dollars, Danai, now an accounting student.
Very well done to Danai. Well, December is a season of love, celebration as well as giving. But for many families, the joy does come with a price tag, one that becomes painfully clear once the calendar flips to January. In our This and That feature tonight, our reporter Temuka Charakupa unpacks the reality of what many have now called the January disease, a financial hangover caused by festive overspending.
In December, shops are full, music is loud, and pockets are wide open. From groceries and travel to parties and new clothes, spending goes into overdrive. There is social pressure to impress loved ones, host visitors, and buy more than usual, or in the name of festive cheer.
Mwana wachibva kuAustralia, wachibva kuUK, muchisangana muchisangano weukama vese, mari dzichidyiwa, muchifarirana pamwe chete, pasina anoomera kana kusabuditsa, nokuti mimani nguva musingaonani.
Panonzi December, musamatame na December ka. Vanhu inoita unge 1 week Christmas iriko, but inenge iri 1 day.
Vanhu vano overspenda mari dzakawanda muna December vachifarisa. Over excitement.
Saka December ndiyanotiuraya zvosisaiti. Dai December yatobvisiwa, Christmas yatobvisiwa zvachose kana pakarenda chaipo.
After the December spending spree comes the familiar reality, a broke January, commonly known as the January disease. School fees, uniforms, stationery, rentals, transport and other expenses pile up, pushing many into unplanned and sometimes unimaginable debt.
Handiti patakahora musi wa 18. Tikutarisira kuti musi wa zvikoro zvokuvhurwa mhene kuma10 ikoko tenga tisina kana chunu kana mari yacho kuti tibhadharire vana chikoro.
Hakuna chinonzi January disease. January disease kutadza kurongeka kwako chete.
Ita zvinenge zvichienderana neumba mako nehomwe yako.
Tinongospenda 2 days mari 3 months.
To understand why this cycle repeats every year, financial experts point to poor planning.
So there's always that imbalance of trying to spend what you don't have. And then also definitely there's the issue of the paycheck. The paycheck comes earlier than you normally get it. So if you get your paycheck on the 14th of December and then the next paycheck is on the 26th of January, there's always that gap. And that gap always needs to be filled. And sometimes people also tend to debt, they borrow. And you should always try not to borrow anything in December.
Lest we forget, December arrives wrapped in celebration and cheer, but January follows softly with receipts, turning festive joy into bittersweet reality for many. Tamuka Charakupa, ZBC News, Chinhoyi.
Well, I do hope that you are all ready for January. We cannot stop it. It's just a few days away. Let us know on social media if you are ready for January. My name is Arthur Sevens for the Montrose News Desk. We're taking a break, but we will be back immediately after that.
Of 2026 with a cultural escape like no other. This 1st of January 2026, New Year celebrations come alive at Baradzano Cultural Village, Mazoe, from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. with bold heritage, rich Zimbabwean flavors, and unstoppable vibes as Tamin Moyo, Fendi Nandi, and Ja Praiser light up the stage. Culture loud, music alive, Zimbabwe in motion. Free entry. Start the new year the Zimbabwean way. Experience it. Zimbabwe, inaka yedu, ilifa letu. Our heritage. Experience Zimbabwe. Zimbo.
Whether you're scaling up or ready to go global, we are here to help with finance, contacts and advice, smart banking tools and our Pan-African network. You can thrive faster with us. Discover a better way to grow at ecobank.com/commercial. EcoBank, a better way, a better Africa.
Babe, we're getting late.
I'm coming.
That glance is a choice. That text can wait. Don't let a text rewrite your story. Silence your phone, protect your journey, and do not text and drive.
This message is brought to you by Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe in collaboration with Portras.
You're still watching Sunday Edition. Thank you for staying with us. In our SNT, a 25-year-old mechanical engineering graduate, Esther Munakandafa, has invented an artificial intelligence-powered fraud detection software system for monitoring corrupt activities in banks.
Inspired by the need to prevent fraudulent activities in the banking sector, University of Zimbabwe graduate Esther Munakandafa has designed an AI-based software that prevents revenue leakages through blockchain technologies.
So our project is titled Secure Guard, which is an internal fraud detection system. This works in banks, parastatals, or any institutions that want to strengthen their internal controls.
The blockchain system prevents revenue leakages internally by capturing every transaction through behavioral analysis of transactions carried out on a daily basis.
Our system captures every transaction, analyzes it, assesses the risk from 0 to 100. So it's low, medium, high, and critical risk. If it's critical risk, it means that there's a fraud happening in real time. So in such instances, our system shuts down and alerts be it the admin or any supervisor is in charge of monitoring such a department. And then there's after-hour fraud, which means someone authorizing maybe a loan approval at 3 a.m. at their home. It's also detected. There's also geographical anomalies, transactions even from internet cafes. Our system is able to detect that.
The AI-powered fraud detection system is a game changer in enhancing internal security as well as preventing revenue leakages in the bank through its ability to sound alarm on weird transactions, especially transactions involving large sums of money. Lisa Correra, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
And that's our science and technology feature. Let's now shift our attention to Sunbees. The hospitality industry in Guruve district has received a major boost after the opening of a new lodge and conference facility at Mudindo Growth Point, reinforcing Zimbabwe's rural development drive.
Despite the festive season break and the merrymaking all around, it was all hands on deck for the leadership of Mashonaland Central Province as they commissioned Tamari Lodges and Conference Center at Mudindo Growth Point.
Community kana pakavakwa nzvimbo yakaita seinoyi zvinovandudza zvinoita kuti vanhu vasafunge kuenda kuHarare because inoita kuti Harare yava kumusha.
Kufara zvinoita kuti nzvimbo ivandudzike neGuruvewo mamusinawo nzvimbo dzakanaka kudai.
Kana ukada kuuya nevamwe vanobva kune dzimwe nzvimbo kwakuika kwedu pane zvavhurwa pane zvakadai, so development iri kuchinja.
Beyond tourism and leisure, the facility has created employment opportunities for local youths, contributing to livelihoods and skills development.
Ndiri kudepartment re-entertainment kuya kwevaimbi kurongwa kwemaprograms anechekuita nokufadza vanhu ndinenge ndiripo. Saka tiri kubenefita kuti mabasa hatisi kuzotsvaga kuti sei mudhara varobva vati no local people uyai mushande.
Kune vamwe vanhu vekuti vanouya vachizoshaya pekuti vanokwanisa kurara kana kugara, but iko zvinopa vapo, saka zvinhu zviri kutibatsira endo zvinoita kuti basa redu rirambe richienda mberi.
Tamari Trust chairperson Mr. Paul Chimbodza drew inspiration to modernize his home area and create key enablers for development from the growth of other areas.
If you want to develop an area, there are certain things that are enablers to development. Zvakaita semagetsi, mvura, pekugara pakanaka. And nzvimbo yakaita seinoyi, it's an enabler by development kuti ever investor ari kuuya munzvimbo inoyi anoziva kuti anowana somewhere pari comfortable pekugara and pari safe and to quality standards.
Mashonaland Central Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Christopher Magomo, rallied the local community and authorities to support such investments.
President vanoti nyika inovakwa nevene vayo. Yezvo nhasi tiri kuona Comrade Chimbodza vazadzisa mantra ya president yekuti nyika inovakwa nevene vayo. Tinotarisira izvi kuti zviitwe nevamwe nzvimbo dzakasiyana siyana. Totarisira zvakare kuti kanzuru ngatiregei kuita bureaucracy dzakanyanya. Kasikai kuprocessa kana pane munhu ane capacity. Ndiyo development yatotarisira.
Across Zimbabwe, rural districts are increasingly positioning themselves as tourism and investment destinations, capitalizing on improved road networks, rural electrification, mining activity, and devolution-driven development. Tapiwa Machemedze, ZBC News, Guruve.
Sunday Edition takes a break and we'll be back with more. To stay with us.
Off 2026 with a cultural escape like no other. This 1st of January 2026, New Year celebrations come alive at Baradzano Cultural Village, Mazoe, from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. with bold heritage, rich Zimbabwean flavors, and unstoppable vibes as Tami Moyo, Fendi Nandi, and Ja Praiser light up the stage. Culture loud, music alive, Zimbabwe in motion. Free entry. Start the new year the Zimbabwean way. Experience it. Zimbabwe, inaka yedu, ilifa letu. Our heritage. Experience Zimbabwe. Zimbo.
Since its launch in April 2024, ZIG has remained stable. ZIG is holding its own and holding it well. It's staying true to its promise: stable, secure, reliable. From the clear policy direction and consistency, RBZ has stayed the course to deliver a stable currency for the people of Zimbabwe. Behind the scenes, reserves comprising of foreign currency, gold and other precious minerals backing our currency keep growing. What exactly do we mean by this? Zimbabwe keeps gold and foreign currency as savings called reserves. When a currency is backed by these savings, it stays steady. It is better protected from unexpected economic shocks and is less likely to lose value. With the growing reserves, the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe is better supporting the market with foreign currency for essential imports such as medicines, raw materials, and machinery for the development of our industries. With this strength behind it, the ZIG is laying a foundation for growth, opportunity, and a better life for every Zimbabwean. It is setting the stage for economic growth and opportunity. Stable prices, better planning, and real value that holds. What's built to last will not shake with the wind. This is why we say ZIG means business and the future is rock solid. ZIG, our currency, our future, our pride.
Manual payroll processes giving you headaches, human errors, missed deadlines, compliance worries? Meet Iris Pay, the smarter, cloud-based payroll system built for Zimbabwean businesses. Automate your payroll and pay your team in your preferred currency, all in minutes. Iris Pay. Payroll made simple, compliance made certain. Start today and let Iris Pay handle the numbers. Sign up today. QuartzTech. Dream. Innovate. Inspire.
If you drink, be responsible.
Welcome back. In Sports Buzz, Warriors coach Mario Marinica is in buoyant mood ahead of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations clash against South Africa. The encounter is the last match of Group B and will see the winners progress to the second round of this year's competition. Marinica is confident his team is ready to make history.
The Warriors need a victory to progress to the AFCON second round for the first time, and standing in their way are neighbors South Africa. The two Southern African rivals clash in a Limpopo derby in the Red City, just months after they produced an epic encounter in the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifier that ended in a stalemate and nearly prevented South Africa from qualifying for the global showpiece. Bafana have that draw at the back of their minds, but they are coming from a first defeat in more than 2 years, and the Warriors want to pounce on the low confidence.
You know, they just lost their first game after all that, which is something that they're not used to. So right now, we just have to take advantage of that. Like, okay, right now their heads are a bit down. That's the truth, you know. So as us is something that we just have to motivate ourselves and try to. And we are coming from a draw. We got a point, which is not something that we wanted. We really wanted 3 points, but it's something positive on our side. So we just have to take it from there, from that 1 point, and try to get 3 points out of the next game, which is tomorrow.
Not expecting too many surprises from them, but also we expect a tough game. They obviously have some sort of revenge against us, and you know, it being somewhat of a Limpopo derby. So there's a lot of importance going into the game. We obviously want to qualify out of the group stage for the first time. So it's going to be a really tough, intense game. There's going to be a lot of hard running. There's going to be times where we suffer. There's also going to be times where we put them under pressure. So we just need to focus for the whole 90, 95 minutes.
The coach spoke on what will influence his team selection ahead of the encounter.
We are looking at data. We are looking, scientifically. We are looking, remember, at 5 corner.
technically, tactically, we look at physical aspect, we look at mental aspect, and the social aspect, which actually is a group, how the team is gelling and who is clicking and how is clicking. So that's things, we are looking to see how we can do that. Unfortunately, the fact was that some of our players, they haven't got the exposure that the opponents has. At the same time, they don't have the matches that the opponents have to play regularly at very top level, day in and day out, like 3 matches in a week, like many of the opponents they had. So therefore, we have to come with some surprise, we have to come with freshness. So
Zimbabwe are targeting to go past the group stages for the first time after 5 previous attempts and currently anchor Group B with a single point, the same as Angola, who play Egypt at the same time this Monday. A winner for Zimbabwe will guarantee a place in the second round, either as group runners-up or as one of the 4 best-placed, third-placed teams. South Africa have won 3 and drawn 2 of their last 5 fixtures against Zimbabwe, with the Warriors' last victory against Bafana Bafana was in 2013. However, their latest encounter was 3 months back, which ended in a new stalemate. Lawrence Trusida, ZBC News, Marrakesh.
Well, we wish our Warriors the very best when they take on Bafana Bafana tomorrow. We wish them the 3 points that they are hoping for. On that note, we take a break. Join us for Showbiz when we return.
Whether you're scaling up or ready to go global, we are here to help with finance, contacts and advice, smart banking tools and our Pan-African network. You can thrive faster with us. Discover a better way to grow at ecobank.com/commercial. EcoBank, a better way, a better Africa.
Babe, we're getting late.
I'm coming.
That glance is a choice. That text can wait. Don't let a text rewrite your story. Silence your phone, protect your journey, and do not text and drive. This message is brought to you by Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe in collaboration with Portras.
Thank you for staying with us. It was a festive week on the entertainment calendar as several events took center stage, marking Unity Day and the holiday season in style.
Gathered at Carpe Diem on Monday for a star-studded show headlined by model, Sun El musician Lala Chukzin, with electrifying beats lighting up the capital city. Meanwhile, at Gava restaurants, family turned out in their numbers for a relaxed Unity Day celebration, entertained by soulful performances from Sarungano and Silent Mode. Gospel music lovers were not left out as Minister Michael Mahendera hosted the Overcomers Outcry experience, delivering a powerful night of praise and worship. As tradition detects, the Bulawayo's entertainment scene revved up in style, with the city's biggest music shutdown gig bringing together local and international acts. Zimdanso star Hulengende and Imali Esqueja hitmaker Fab G also brought fireworks to the stage, proving why they remain crowd favorites. Rounding off the festive celebrations, popular saxophonist Danielson treated families to a Christmas dinner performance at 19 at Knox, adding a smooth and elegant touch to the holiday season.
Well, looks like people really enjoyed. What were you doing over the weekend, Joe? We just ended today.
Well, I was just relaxing and resting, but of course I had to do a bit of karaoke somewhere in Harare, and I had a wonderful time. What did you do, Yvonne?
Well, I was just working the whole weekend.
Oh, that's sad. But anyway, New Year's is coming. I'm sure you've got something lined up for that.
Hopefully. And that's our edition for tonight. Thank you for giving us your time. Until we meet again, hopefully next week. Good night.
Good night.
Chico